Alright, what's up everybody? I got another build here I wanted to share with you all. This time I've got the 3-piece strikers, 2-piece sentries. The strikers is real nice because it gives you the 20% to enemy armor damage, which is cool for the NPCs in the dark zone, and the 50% crit hit damage. And then, of course, the sentries gives you that 30% headshot damage that multiplies all crazy. This actually adds me exactly 100% headshot damage to my sniper rifle, which is real nice. And it adds a decent amount to my submachine gun as well. But I'm going to go over my gear and how I got the stats that I have. As you can see, my DPS is pretty high and my toughness is very high. I've got 206k DPS, 450k toughness, and just under 20k skill power. The way I was able to reach this, and maintaining enough firearms to unlock Brutal, was a 2-socket chest piece and a 2-socket mask. And I'll show you what I modded after I go and show you my armor. My armor is maxed out. I have 112,620 life, 39% crit chance, 192% crit damage, 154% headshot damage with my submachine gun. Then we've got, what else here is important? Almost 20,000 skill power and maximum armor. I'm over armor cap by only 4 armor. So I have this pretty much fine-tuned to the max that I can get it with my current gear and mods. The way I did it was having good gear, good base gear, but a 2-socket chest piece. In here is firearms and armor mods. Unfortunately, I spent tons. I think I rolled over 30 firearms mods today trying to get better firearms armor mods, and I kept getting firearms skill power, which is not what I needed. But I'm still using this crappy one here with 135, 125. But 2 things of armor there. The chest itself rolled 2 mod slots with an armor roll. It's not even the greatest armor roll. I can get some more on that. Maybe in the future I'll roll some more armor on that and try to get the armor off of one of these slots. My mask rolled really high base stamina and base armor, 507 base armor. I used to have skill power on the mask, but in order to be able to unlock Brutal, I needed the second mod slot for firearms. And the reason I did that, I'll show you, was because I switched to another stamina piece, my gloves. But in here is 2 crit chance mods. I figured since I don't need more armor, I could either go with more crit chance or I could go with more skill power. And I went with the crit chance. I could change these out to skill power. It depends. I have enough skill power with this build because I'm running overdose rather than booster shot, since I don't have vigorous chest anymore. But I could change these out. These crit chance can go with skill power. That's the only other thing I'd really want to change, would be skill power on these mods right here. But these are pretty nice ones, 161s and 150s. Not too bad. Pretty nice mask. I'm still using my old SENTRY'S knee pads. And these are another crappy firearms mod with armor. At least it's got 139 armor, but I really need some good firearms armor mods. With some better firearms armor mods, I think I could drop one of these pieces of armor. But knee pads, you want to have crit damage for sure. And then high main stat. Unfortunately, this has really, really low base firearms as well. But yeah, it's pretty nice. It does have first aid ally heal on these knee pads. Backpack. My backpack's going to be really, really hard to replace. It's got almost max skill power, 6,731 skill power with 669 stamina. And I have it modded with a firearms skill power mod, really, really high skill power, 1581 skill power, and high firearms, 157. So that's a pretty nice mod there. Gonna be hard to replace that backpack. I crafted these gloves today, finally. Unfortunately, I had the choice between either submachine gun damage or first aid self-heal. And for me, I wanted the first aid self-heal, really. Submachine gun damage is nice. It's about a 5% upgrade in damage, which adds about 10,000 DPS. But first aid self-heal is more important, and I can use this with all my builds with the stamina. So I can use this on my other build that uses vigorous chest, and with vigorous chest and booster shot, you really want as much first aid self-heal as possible. A bunch of people in my stream were calling me stupid for rolling the skill to first aid self-heal instead of the pistol damage to submachine gun damage, but in my opinion, the first aid self-heal is more important than 5% more damage. I do have some other pairs. I've got a nice firearms pair here with first aid self-heal, and I've got this pair here that is actually trash. I don't know what that's doing in my inventory, but I could swap that. Holsters, I rolled a really nice holster. It's not the highest in main stats, but it's at least 600 plus in all main stats. But the nice thing about this holster has very high armor. It's got almost 100 armor more than my old SENTRY'S holster, which is quite nice, and a bit higher skill power. Nothing major, but that high armor was nice, so I didn't have to use armor in all of my mod slots. I was able to use 3 mod slots of armor, or without armor. I've got the skill power one here and 2 crit chance ones here. So 3 mod slots of armor and 3 mod slots of whatever I wanted. So my guns are still the same. I did, however, switch up to a laser. I know I always make fun of people that use lasers, but normally I use horizontal stability on my submachine guns, but the MP7 has like no horizontal recoil. So when I was doing some tests, I didn't have any difference in horizontal deviation using my old grip, which was this one here, stability, horizontal stability. So what I ended up doing was swapping my accuracy crit damage muzzle for a stability crit damage muzzle, and then going with a hipfire accuracy grip. And I did notice that my hipfire accuracy when firing from the hip is quite a bit better. So I do that a lot too in PvP. So I'm actually going to give the laser a try. It does make a difference, that hipfire accuracy, on how much your reticle spreads. So it's quite nice. I am running one is none, as you can see there. But the reticle stays pretty small, especially if you're not getting a bunch of headshots that make it extend longer. And without that, it was definitely bigger. As you can see, there's not much horizontal deviation, so that horizontal stability was not really needed, in my opinion. So I went with the laser. We'll see how it is. The laser seems like it might help me a little bit, just keeping those groupings a little tighter when I'm chasing someone down hip fire or running around in circles like a chicken with his head off, hip firing. But the other mods I have are, of course, magazine size, rate of fire. I did spend some time today going through my spreadsheets, trying to figure out if still rate of fire was best in my build, and it is. It is superior to crit damage and weapon damage. Even when I buffed up my crit chance to 90%, assuming that we had a really good pulse and whatnot, it was still superior. That rate of fire was still worth it. So sticking with rate of fire always. And I've got this nice 8 crit chance, 20.5 headshot damage scope, and gun's painted red right now. I don't know why. Maybe from the blood of dead people. So this is the build. I'll show you my talents real quick. Nothing really changed since my last build on talents. I am running smart cover, or I can run shock turret or flash, depends on what I do. I'm actually supposed to be on overdose, not booster shot here. And my talents are one is none, combat medic, critical save, and triage. Pretty nice. I like these setups. I did change from what's it called, on the move to one is none. This is nice with my sniper rifle, and when I do land some headshots, it's nice for those extra free shots that you get. That doesn't consume your bullets. You can do some decent amount of extra damage if it does proc. So I found that I wasn't really proccing on the move nearly as much as I'd like to, especially since I snipe. I'm not really moving much when I'm killing NPCs, and you actually have to shoot the people on the ground while moving to get it to proc in PvP. So as much as I like on the move and as nice it is as it is when it does activate, it just wasn't activating enough. And since they kind of fixed one is none, I'm back to using it. Another option I could do if I run a turret, a shock turret, is I'll run fear tactics. Tomorrow, I think I want to go to the dark side and maybe 2 of us run shock turrets, both of us with fear tactics, because we've noticed this new PvP with such high toughness is a lot of just running around in circles until something gets CC'd. And I hate when the other team runs 2 shock turrets, and it seems like that's what they're doing. So maybe we'll have to go to the dark side and run 2 shock turrets instead of 1, and actually run fear tactics at the same time, which applying shock to any target triggers a 30% chance to apply the effect to all the targets within 10 meters. So basically you shock 1 and it shocks the entire team, which is really, really nice, especially if you've got 2 of those out there. This can be really, really deadly, and will make those really, really annoying firefights of running around in circles forever, running out of ammo, a little bit more manageable. But I think I covered everything. This build is okay. I kind of like it, but while messing around with my gear today, I kind of decided I want to maybe drop the strikers. And I did a spreadsheet test with this vigorous chest. And running vigorous chest with the same firearms and being in booster shot and losing the strikers damage, the 50% critical hit damage, is actually almost identical in damage numbers. Let me look off screen here. It was within 1,000 damage. So one of them at burst DPS was 485,000, and then the other one was 486,000. My DPS was 225,000. The other one was 225,000. There was like a 300 damage difference. So the difference of 50% crit damage with strikers, and this is factoring in a crit chance of 53%, factoring in that my Savage gloves are active at the time, not just my base. It's my base plus my Savage gloves, which is pretty much how it is in PvP. The booster shot gives the same amount of damage bonus as that 50% crit damage. However, not running booster shot with the vigorous chest unfortunately leaves me with losing out on that 15% damage reduction. So for those 10 seconds that booster shot is up, I'd be dealing the same amount of damage without strikers, and I would be reducing my damage by 15%. So I kind of want to use this chest. I have this nice vigorous chest. It is firearms based, but it does have a 2-socket and first aid self-heal, so it's really, really nasty. And I'm going to try to manage a set right now after this video using this chest, and maybe I'll make another video tonight. So keep in mind, check that out. Maybe I'll be running this tomorrow, because I really miss my booster shot, man. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment and like or whatever you do. See you guys around.